my beautiful Aquarius friends, and welcome to your horoscope for July of 2023, where Aquarius this month we have got Venus taking that retrograde, and it is going to be lighting up your relationship house. So, when we say Venus goes retrograde, it gives us a chance to reassess and relook at finance and relationships. Like, no joke, for you, it is this month a real in-depth reevaluation, reassessment, reunion to what you think about in your relationships and the way that you value yourself and you value them now. So it's a really interesting month. I think there's a lot to offer. Now, we've also got this dance between the Leo and Virgo seasons going on. So the 7th and the 8th houses are really very powerful for you this month. All right, Aquarius, let's jump in and take a look around. Right at the beginning of the month on the 3rd, we've got a full moon happening at 11 degrees of Capricorn. Now, this is going to light up your 12th house space, so the sign just behind you, okay? Now, the full moon is going to ask us, Aquarius, to end something, acknowledge something, or to make an adjustment to what is already here. In the vibration of Capricorn living in that 12th house space, though, we're really being pushed to take a look at where we've got obligations, responsibilities, this sense sometimes of things that it's like, this is my legacy, this is my duty to carry this on, right? And even for some of you, depending on how it looks in your chart, there could be a level of professionalism that is associated with your 12th house. But I also think of the 12th house as the place where we need to look at these themes in terms of what needs to be ended, what needs to be transitioned out, what needs to be absorbed and assimilated, right? Like, what needs to go through this process of culmination for you in your 12th house? Are you working on something from behind the scenes? Are you working on your spiritual life? And what is it that you feel like you've had to reassess, or you're ready to let transition to the next thing in terms of your responsibility and your duty for caring for it? We've got this moon in an opposition to Mercury, who's in Cancer. There's a conversation here with Saturn and a trine to Jupiter. So there's really a lot of guidance that comes to you through this particular full moon about what exactly to let go. And I think because internally, that's the beauty of a full moon, is that it has been lighting up for you for something that feels like it's been in the pressure cooker for a while, and you're like, I can't take all of this on. It is time for me to shed or to bring something to an end in order to have stability, to have emotional stability in my life, right? Now, the other thing I think about with Capricorn energy is, even in the 12th house, you might be needing to look at where you need to delegate, or like you're the next generation. So something has now been delegated to you. Sometimes it's like when our families or a family member passes off into their transitionary time, and we become responsible for that particular thing. So we leave by default our transition. We transition into what we will be next. So there are definitely these themes that are playing out there. On the 10th, we've got Mars entering into the energy of Virgo, lighting up this 8th house space for you. Now, Mars in Virgo is about helping get it done. Mars is our action planet, and Virgo is detail oriented. So whatever you need to do to get done, if it's death, debt, taxes, insurance, wills and estates, astrology, healing, intimacy, you see into me, these things that take a step-by-step approach, to getting them done, things that take long-term investment of energy. You have to be steady to it. This is the energy where Virgo can help you also have discernment about what needs to be the priority, what goes first. Do I put the cart or do I put the horse, right? What are the steps that I need to take to get something done? But whatever it is, remember that Virgo is an earth energy. So if there is something requiring a lot of stamina to you, it's Virgo energy. Are you taking care of a person who is in a nursing home or has long-term care attention needed to them? Whatever it is, this helps you do the step-by-step method to get it done. On the 11th, we see Mercury enter into the energy of Leo, where Venus is already traveling. We've also had Mars over there getting it all hot and ready for you. And so Mars was over there changing some things up, leaving you something to think about. Mercury in Leo. So as Mercury is transiting through Leo until the 28th, you've got big thinking. This is your big cat thinking, but it's confident thinking. This is Mercury moving into a fire energy, which is very compatible with you. And so you're also called at this particular time in your relationships to speak up, stand up, express yourself, lead. You are being called into a leadership energy of expression while Mercury is traveling through Leo. Now, maybe it's not just in your one-on-one relationship with family or a romantic partner, but what about with your business partner? What about with you and whatever you call a higher power? Are you taking the lead? Are you being the first to step towards that power? Because when you take a step towards that power or the universe, whatever you call it, it comes running. Right? So there is this sense of leadership, but there's also this sense that I want you to remember not to speak in arrogance if you can avoid it. Okay, because all that brings back is arrogance times 3 in your direction. So while Mercury is traveling through this Leo season, be big, say it with your chest out, be proud, but try to not tip into arrogance if that's possible. But sometimes we have to go there in order to develop. Now, when we get to the 17th, we've got a new moon happening at 24 degrees of Cancer, and this lights up your 6th house space. So in the 12th house, it was all the things we're working on behind the scenes that kind of need to culminate, or we're even creating something in the intangible space, and we were surrendering that, letting it go so it can be what it needs to be next. Now at the new moon, you're planting seeds of intention in the 6th house of daily routines. This is tangible, right? We're feeling it, we're dealing with it, we're moving in it in a daily way. And also in the 6th house, it's health care, health and wellness, including mental health. So at this new moon, you may be needing to plant your seeds of intention to like recommit your energy to doing something. Like it's an emotional recommitment, right? Like, okay, I am willing to take this on. I am willing to take on this daily routine. This particular moon is opposing Pluto. And I think that that is something to note. Because what it can do is, first of all, you can feel really empowered. Pluto shows you where you have grown, you have changed, you are in your empowerment, right? So you're like, yeah, this is a big task I'm taking on over there in that Pluto energy, and I don't know all the stops, but I'm emotionally willing to do it and to have support. Right? Cancer will garner support. It looks for who can support me, who can help me be secure and get the job done. But bridging the gap, it's like faith and fear come together in the sweet spot in the middle that equals courage. That is very, very, very much so the idea. Now, the other side of what this can look like is you're being asked to step up. You're being asked to ask for help, ask for support, say, I can't do it on my own, or whatever that statement of please support me is, and you're afraid to ask, or you're afraid to do it. That's Pluto. There can be fear. It's like, well, if I tell them I don't know what I'm doing, or I tell them I'm afraid, what will they think of me? And that's very much so what I think of Pluto at these last degrees of Capricorn is, what will they think of me? You know, being ruled and governed by what the outside world thinks, as opposed to what you actually need to be secure and successful. So plant your seeds of intention to garner the support and recommit yourself to whatever this daily 6th house health and wellness journey is. On the 22nd, it's very busy. We've got Venus stepping officially into its retrograde and the sun moving into Leo. And remember, we've also got Mercury over here. So it is a jammin' little house over here this month. The 7th house is completely exciting for you. Relationships will be busy, okay? Now, if you haven't checked out the video I did with Nicholas Polomonakis from Sparkles of Gold Astrology, where we covered in depth the full Venus retrograde and Leo cycle, please make sure you check that out. I'll put it at the end of this video. It is also in the playlist on the homepage of my channel. Okay, so get in there because we give you all the dates to watch and to know and to note so that you know what's coming for you during this retrograde, which is going to happen between 28 and 12 degrees of Leo. So that's exactly what you're watching on your chart, 28 to 12 degrees of Leo. Now, again, the Venus retrograde is having you go all the way back to 2015 and reevaluate the value of your relationships right now. Reassess them, review, reunite, reunion, re-edit. You know, whatever it is, you're doing a major revision here. How much money are you spending in your relationships? Venus is about finance and relationship. How are you attracting relationships into your life? Because Venus is also an attracting energy. You know, Venus reminds me of the flower and the bee. Flowers don't chase bees. It's the other way around. So it's really this principle too in your relationships. Like, who are you attracting in? What kind of business are you pulling in? Business partners. What kind of attitude are you pulling in your partnerships from, your day-to-day interactions? That very much so has to do with the vibration that you're also putting out. So reassess it if you don't like what you're getting. Now, I do think it's wise to go back to that 2015 time frame and say, what did I want here? What was I wanting to do? What was I trying to attract to myself? Or what was my value system? And it's like something you couldn't quite get your hands around it. You couldn't quite do it. And now this particular cycle of this retrograde is bringing a healing to that. It's really bringing such a beautiful healing to get you to step up and attract to you what you want, to be in that Leo vibration. And you'll have plenty of help with the sun traveling through Leo all the way until August 23rd as well. Now, when we get to the 23rd of July, not August, but the 23rd of July, we see Chiron taking a retrograde in Aries from 19 degrees to 15 degrees. Now, this lights up your third house space. So literally, Aquarius, it's like you just have this big voice this month. That's really the theme I keep getting over and over and over again is in your relationships, like your voice is being heard or it's being requested to be heard at this particular time. And Chiron has been the wounded healer. Okay. And in the energy of Aries, it's the wound of the identity, like something about the identity you have carried previously. Like you weren't sure if you should speak up, the way whatever your communication style, like something about your identity, you felt compromised or felt like you couldn't do it. You weren't allowed to say that thing. Okay. But now, and especially flashback just about 2-3 years ago, the difference between the identity and how you show up and who you believe you are and who you are demonstrating you are today, not who you've been in the past. Who are you demonstrating you are today? Because that person, that version of you is not seeing life through the lens of that Chiron wound right now. There has been a healing, there has been a rising. And this is an opportunity for you to assimilate, to celebrate, and to acknowledge and really bring into your daily programming and understanding and communication style this new identity, this new voice. So, let me know what that means for you in the comment section down below. As we're going to close out this month, we see Mercury now in the energy of Virgo, and we're going to have a long tour, a long time of Mercury working through this Virgo energy, okay? Because Mercury is going to retrograde in Virgo when we get into next month, but we're not going to see it get done with the post-retrograde shadow time all the way until we get past October, okay? So we've got a long investment in this energy. Now, Mercury in Virgo is lighting up that 8th house where we've also got Mars. So now we've got action and thinking in the same place, and that is fantastic because they are both looking for facts, the whole facts, and nothing but the facts, right? Work from the facts, not just the feeling. What do the facts say? What is the data? What are the data points? Can you back that up with actual facts and information? And if you can do that and be in the details of what you are doing, you will have everything you need to step-by-step process information, carry out tasks from a place of love and truth, and the truth always sets us free, okay? So in this 8th house where we've got death, debt, taxes, vulnerability, we've got astrology, we've got connection, we've got assets and relationships. This is a place where truly the truth, you want it because you want to be making the most loving, truthful decisions in this area of your life, and the facts will help you get there. All right, my beautiful Aquarian friends, I hope you have a gorgeous month. Please let me know about this big voice it feels like you're developing in the comment section down below. Bye, Aquarius.